We welcome you to Sports Center from the nation's capital. I'm Scott Van Pelt with you for the next hour. Everything you need to know, see, and hear from the Super Bowl. Steve Young will stop by, some thoughts with us. Ryan Clark, Tim Hasselbeck, Louis Riddick, to give you the perspective of the Buccaneers' victory in the incomprehensible run of Tom Brady. Yet another ring for Tom. To Super Bowl 55. Tampa on the road for their first 3 wins, had to get to the Super Bowl to come home. All that stood in their way, the reigning champion. I can't say what he said, but something about this being his home field, something like that.
A couple adjectives.
Easy to be happy for Bruce Arians.
No doubt.
Football guy and a guy's guy. When it's done, the GOAT in training, if you want to look at it that way, share a moment, the yin and the yang, the despair and the jubilation as the Buccaneers and Tom Brady wins another Super Bowl MVP. Saw a cool thing with Serena showing you a little deal, a little TikTok or whatever running around her trophy case. She's got quite a trophy case. Tom Brady's probably similar. Got to find more room on the shelf, Giselle. Brady's now got more Super Bowl titles than any other franchise in NFL history, surpassing the Patriots and the Steelers. But here's another angle as well. There are 18 franchises that have 1 or fewer. Those teams, more than half of the league, have combined for 6 Super Bowls. Brady has 7. He will begin the thoughts after Super Bowl 55.
I think they're all special, and they're all this has been an amazing year. Amazing year. We got to a good start, 7-2, and then had a little rough stretch where we kind of found our identity and played a lot better football down last December, January, and just really proud of all the guys, proud of all the coaches, the effort we put in. We knew we were playing a great football team tonight, and we got the job done. So you want to get this far, you got to get the job done, and we did it.
Think about this. We had 1 Pro Bowler, but we was able to win a Super Bowl. How do that sound? It don't sound good. Like, how do we have only 1 Pro Bowler, but a team with no Pro Bowler is able to go on and win a Super Bowl? Something not right, but that's not what we play for. You know, we play for the bigger picture. You see this trophy on this side, whatever, this side, the Lombardi, that's what we play for. That was the goal.
We were a very talented football team that nobody wants to give us credit for, but we're a very talented football team. We just need to believe. And the hardest thing is to build a culture where people start believing. And we started believing pretty early in the season, and we knew we were going to be a tough out. All we had to do was get in the playoffs.
Ours is a business often of hyperbole and a lot of volume and whatever else. You don't have to yell to say this, and it's not exaggeration for effect. This is a fact. In 53 previous career starts, the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes as their starting quarterback had never lost by more than 1 score. For the first time since Week 11 of 2017, the Chiefs did not score a single touchdown, a streak which spans longer than Mahomes' career as a starter. When it was over, they're trying to make sense of 60 minutes that just didn't go their way.
I mean, that's a tough thing to get back to this game. It's tough. But that's what this is all about. And it just shows you the heart of these guys and what they've done to put ourselves in a position to at least have an opportunity to do this. We've got to play better. We've got to use it as motivation to help get ourselves back again.
Joined now in studio, rare treat, by Ryan Clark. And look, the headline is going to be Brady because it's Brady and he gets his 7th. It was the easiest, though, or I should say the most comfortable. Nothing's easy. I shouldn't frame it that way. The most comfortable because of what this Buccaneer defense did, Ryan. How do you best sort of describe what they did?
Listen, they just changed everything up, right? They went away from what you saw the first game, which was single high safety and so much of them showing Patrick Mahomes before the snap what they do. Listen, football is a game of ego. You know, it's a game of confidence. They got humbled, right? It's humbling when a dude goes for 2 bills and he's throwing you the deuce and backflipping into the end zone. Todd Bowles changed all of those things. He went back, he looked at his team, and he said he was going to do something different, and that's how they won the game.
And if we see there are ways to kind of illustrate, and I thought it was interesting. You say you learn more when you're humbled. I agree with that, you know, because it's easy whenever it's all cake and ice cream.
Exactly.
Is there? You're as good as anybody at showing us sort of how it affects itself on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, this is an episode of Todd Bowles versus Patrick Mahomes. Okay. Here's what he did. So he said, "Hey, look at us. It's Shaq Barrett. It's JPP and Dominican Sue. We're coming." lie as you tell. We're going to come from the outside here. We're going to smash JPP down and bring Jamel Dean from the outside. What this does, this guy has to chip. You have to crash down. We get pressure on Patrick Mahomes now. But the smart thing is this. You say, how can we cover if a corner goes and the nickel goes? We're going to drop out Devin White. We're going to drop out Levante David. We're going to bring down Edwards, and we're going to play the outside third with Whitehead. So here's the look. We're going to come off the ball here. Now we have a free rusher outside because I told you we were going to affect the tackle. So look at what Patrick Mahomes is looking at. I have a rusher in my face here. This guy can't get a first down. This guy can't get a first down. This guy can't get a first down. Why? The first game, you saw me play man-to-man the entire game. Now we're going to rush you to pressure you, but play zone on the back end. So you have one recourse. Let's be Superman, Patrick Mahomes. He's going to step up, get outside the pocket, and you're going to say, Tyreek Hill, go do cheetah-like things. But there's a guy on the backside of him. So when he gets out, when he gets deep down the field, now Antoine Winfield is running with him. He can get his hand in his eyesight, and he drops a ball that we've seen him catch. Todd Bowles said, you know what? We've done things extremely well throughout the playoffs. We've played man-to-man. We've played single high. We're going to give you something different, Patrick Mahomes, and you're going to have to read it after the snap. We're going to make you beat us with your mind and not your body, and they won the game today.
No question. And as I mentioned in Brady's case, is so often his teams have won Super Bowls where it's come down to the end. That was not the case here. But offensively, where the Chiefs are settling for field goals, the Buccaneers are getting touchdowns. And we've talked a lot throughout this year about the weapons, about Godwin, about Evans, about a number of different running backs that they've got at their disposal. But it was interesting. What was this script? Who were the people that were making the plays here?
The Bradys. Yeah. That's who it was. Listen, I call him the greatest organization of all time. He was a player, he was a coach, and he was the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Before the season, what do we say? Watch Godwin, watch Brady, right? Watch Mike Evans.
Yep.
You didn't even hear those guys tonight. It was Rob Gronkowski. It was Antonio Brown. It was Leonard Fournette. Three dudes who aren't Tampa Bay Buccaneers if Tom Brady is not the quarterback of this team. And also, you see how they played, right? The play action game, winning the game, making the right play, making the smart play. That's not who this team was before they got Tom Brady. His imprint is all over this championship. And yes, they are talented. Yes, they are well coached. But Tom Brady is the greatest of all time for a reason. And I think we saw that tonight.
Man, it's been so much fun, as always, getting a chance to visit with you throughout the season. I know you're staying across the street. Put it on Stanford Steve's expense account.
Oh, that's what's up.
He has a lengthy
little room service?
Yeah, whatever you want. Stanford Steve's got you covered. It's the least we can do. As always, we appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys, man.
Yes, indeed. To Ryan's point, these are guys that certainly weren't organizational lifetimers with the Buccaneers. The 31 points tonight come via touchdown passes from Brady to Rob Gronkowski and Antonio Brown, a rush by Leonard Fournette, and a field goal by Ryan Succop. In 2019, none of those five players were Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they all played for different teams. Gronk, of course, was enjoying life out of the league.
Look, it was a balanced win.
Yes, it was.
And the Bucs, we talked about it all year. Are they going to gel? Do they have enough time? Tom coming to town, Gronk, Antonio Brown. Well, the better offense and better defense we played the end of the year, and it absolutely was. This team, why don't they go win it again? They're going to get better and better.
Well, here's the thing. Remember that Chiefs loss, of which they came back to lose by 3, the Buccaneers. Then they had a bye. I don't think you can overlook this. It's just exactly what played. It was the last bye of any of the teams. Veteran team, first week of December, had a bye. Good timing. They haven't lost since then. You talk about gelling. Hello, that's what they got together. And oh, by the way, the defense never allowed the Chiefs into the end zone.
Like, we're going to talk a lot about Tom Brady. Who would have ever thought the Chiefs would only kick 3 field goals? Todd Bowles was outstanding tonight.
Yes.
And we wondered, what adjustments was he going to make from week 12 to tonight? First time we saw Tyreek Hill 260 yards in the first quarter. Todd Bowles simply said, I'm not going to allow you to get deep. He kept 2 safeties back. The pass rush dominated the offensive line up front. And I realized we're going to talk a lot and we're going to wax on Brady. He's the greatest ever. But Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles dominated this game tonight. They outcoached Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy up and down the field.
4 guys up front dominated. The only time that you see defense today in the unfair fight that the NFL is, offense versus defense, is when 4 guys, not 5 or 6, when 4 dominate. Denver did it a few years ago.
Yes.
The Ravens did it a few years ago.
And the Giants did it to Brady.
So that's
with
that's how you win. and that's how they dominate in today's defenses have to bring 4, and that's what they did. Here, they brought the extra guy here early, Boog, and that was a nice thing. They played zone behind it, and I think that threw them off, and I like that wrinkle. But the rest of the game, it was 4 guys just basically putting Patrick on skates the whole day.
Well, and you see Shaq Barrett, by the way, he's an unrestricted free agent, just beating the right tackle Wiley with an inside move. Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh pushing the pocket. Notice what Patrick did all night. He was backing up.
Yes.
He never had time to step up.
He never set his feet even when he had a time.
Exactly.
They were in his head immediately.
And that was Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, Shaq Barrett, those 4 guys up front. We talked about this years ago when I played in Tampa. It was Warren Sapp, myself, Greg Spires, Simeon Rice. When you can dominate an offensive line up front,
I remember those
it
games.
doesn't matter. Okay, going back to the greatest show on turf. Remember that game, Boom?
Yeah.
Nobody can stop him. 40 points a game. Monty Kiffin simply said that Kurt Warner can't throw if he's on his back. This game plan tonight resembles this. We're going to keep the ball in front of us and allow our defensive line to dominate. And it still brings back the old axiom. Great defense still beats great offense.
Yes.
It still does.
Every once in a while, it's rare nowadays, but it does show up, and when it does, it is the difference.
Exactly.
Well, you knew the front 7 of the Bucs were something.
Right.
You just didn't think that the Chiefs, they were out of sync for all 60 minutes. Again, the Bucs maybe give different looks, but you know who would know what looks the Bucs gave? That would be head coach Bruce Arians, and he's at the podium right now, probably happy.
He's been fantastic, running and catching and pass blocking. He's been an all-around back and done a great job for us. Hey, can you turn this up?
Next question will come from John Romano with the Tampa Bay Times.
Bruce, could you just talk about the game plans of the coordinators, both Byron and Todd?
Yeah, I thought all 3 guys had great plans. Byron did a great job, I thought, of just mixing it up, running past, and then pounding them when we needed to, and Todd had a great plan. Keep them in front of us and let our front 4 get after them, and, they chased him around all night.
Next over to Scott Reynolds with Pewter Report.
Bruce, what can you say about Tom Brady's performance, especially with that touchdown right before halftime once again, giving you guys a healthy lead at the half?
Yeah, that was a huge drive, that 2-minute drive with a minute and something. Just, want to start out a little conservative, make sure we got a play in, and we got the long pass interference. Done a great throw with Antonio, and he just played outstanding the whole ball game. He protected the football. We had great protection, and he found a couple guys like Antonio and Gronk. Both their touchdowns were more improv plays, and just did a great job. Great line, great tight ends. Everybody just did a hell of a job. Team effort.
Next over to Jenna Lane with ESPN.
Hey, Coach, congratulations, first of all.
Oh, chance, baby.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
A few of your major contributors on offense were all guys that were brought in on one-year deals. Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette. How big is it going to be, or should I say, how big was it to have them here tonight, but also how big is it going to be for you guys to get them back next year? And when do you guys start on the process of doing that?
Yeah, I think you got to give Jason Light a ton of credit for this football team. He put a great roster together, picking up those guys and still staying cap friendly. And, we've got a very limited time to get into free agency, and we'll try to keep our guys, that's for sure.
Next over to Greg Allman.
Bruce Arians. Older than all. Yeah, Tom Brady, he's 43. He's young. Did we look at the Bruce Arians? 68 years young, the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl. Older than Bill, older than Tom Coughlin, older than all of them. So congratulations to him and the staff of Bowles and Leftwich and Clyde Christensen, who's been around a long time. We could go on and on and on. But you heard Bruce talk about in one of the questions, and we'll cement it here and then take a quick timeout. So end of half, the Chiefs got the ball with about 6 minutes. About under 2, they were close, but only got a field goal. But then Tampa scored a touchdown. Chiefs get kickoff, get a field goal. Tampa gets touchdown.
I said for years, every time I kick a field goal, I knew I was getting closer to losing, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
And, you know, Bruce is one of the more aggressive coaches that we see in our league. And he coaches his way. No risky, no biscuit. Everybody kills him for that. But he did it his way. Like, that's the thing about this Super Bowl victory tonight. Bruce didn't change for anyone.
Correct.
Byron Leftwich, you're my offensive coordinator. You call the plays. Oh, by the way, an African-American. Todd Bowles, you're the defensive coordinator. You call the plays, an African-American. Hey, Keith Armstrong, you're my special teams coach. You call it. One of the more diverse coaching staffs in football. He allowed his coaches to coach, and they put together one hell of a game plan tonight.
So it might not be changing, but ego did not win the day when it usually would with Tom Brady coming to town with all that.
Exactly.
That's just so disruptive. Tom and Bruce Arians worked it out early, and they held it together.
Yes.
And they never look. They had tough times this season.
Yeah.
Tough moments, but they never cracked. They communicated with each other. They stood by each other. They remained vulnerable to each other. I really believe that when you talk about leadership and how Bruce dealt with it and how Tom dealt with this was really the remarkable. That's a Super Bowl kind of effort by both of them.
Absolutely. And we point at end of half. He's not going to change. Touchdown. End of half. Green Bay. Touchdown.
Yeah.
That was that game, as it turned out. Well, we have plenty more coming up here on Super Bowl prime time. Antonio Brown, all sorts of Bucs. Have Tom Brady, family.